welcome back to the Whatnauts Reactor Core number 38. This week, we are reacting, or I guess this time, we are reacting to the Loki finale. I'm super excited to talk about this one. It's going to be great. My name is Kyle Springer, and I am joined by Melissa Wilkinson. Melissa,
Hello.
How are you?
I think I'm fine. I was so jazzed about the finale this morning that my head was only thinking about it, and I was like on autopilot through my morning routine.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And I took my allergy pill twice, and so I was expecting to be like really drowsy today, but I think I'm still good. I think I survived.
Smash cut to 15 minutes later, and Melissa's passed out.
Just take a nap under my desk. You can keep talking.
Exactly. It's been a good day here for me. I actually almost forgot that today was Loki Wednesday. And I don't know how I did, but then when I remembered, I was just like, yes, today is awesome. It's the finale. So yeah, I'm super excited. Before we dive in, though, I do want to give a big shout out to our Patreon supporters at the $5 tier and above. So thank you to Sam so much.
Thanks,
we
Sam.
Appreciate you. We love you a lot. It means a lot to us to have you supporting us for so long. On top of that, go check out our previous Reactor Core, because we did a spoiler cast on Black Widow. If you guys want to talk about that and have a podcast to listen to on that one, our spoiler cast is exactly what you're looking for.
It's been a big week.
It has been, because we also had the trailer for What If, which is exclusively on our YouTube channel right now. So we reacted to that as well. So we have plenty of things for you guys to talk about. Lots of Marvel stuff. We tend to be very Marvel and Disney focused here on the Reactor Core. Hopefully we'll change that down the road, but it will always be a staple here. So
that's where our hearts are. Yeah, but
Absolutely.
You know, we can diversify. Maybe an episode about old coming out in the coming weeks. We'll see.
Maybe. But Melissa, the Loki finale. I was right, kind of. I was right, but I was wrong. But I was right.
What a fun way to be wrong, though. Yeah, I was also a part of the Kang gang. I think many people were, especially after last week. What a redemption. Yeah. What a good feeling. Just to see his Jonathan Majors' wonderful face. Oh, an excellent feeling. Made me very, very happy, especially because I've never seen him before. I know he's in Lovecraft County, and like I see ads for that. I'll see it like in a big splash page when I load HBO Max. But I've only seen him in still photos. I've never seen the man act before.
He moves.
Oh my God. That was incredible. What a show-stopping performance. I'll watch him do anything now.
Absolutely. This was a great one. I loved it. This was exactly what I needed from the finale. Though I will say, at the same time, a much slower finale than I was expecting.
Yeah.
Which might be off-putting for some people, but like I've mentioned before, I think the show really shines when they slow down, and it's just these conversations, this like exposition-filled dialogue that's just like really deep into MCU lore and stuff like that, and that is exactly what we got with this, and I am excited for the possibilities with all of that stuff. So I think right off the bat, we do have to say that Loki is getting a season 2, which is super exciting. I know there was rumors about this, that they went into making this show kind of planning for there to be a season 2, but it had never truly been confirmed until now. So
yeah, I like that little stinger. It contains like that's what the post-credit scene is. It's just a TVA form with Loki's name on it, and there's a rubber hand, a hand that comes in with a rubber stamp. Hand's not made of rubber, and it says Loki will return in season 2. I love a will return stinger. That always makes me real happy.
Absolutely. But yeah, so let's dive in. So the big bad of this series was, as his name is Jonathan Majors, right? That's the actor's name.
Yes.
So he was playing He Who Remains,
which
I didn't think they were really gonna do. I like the concept, but I thought the idea of He Who Remains in the MCU is still maybe a little too far-fetched for where most people are, despite how strange the MCU has gotten. In the comics, He Who Remains is like the last final TVA agent at the end of time. And so this version is a little different, which is why I was right, but I was wrong, but I was right.
I liked this turn on He Who Remains. I think that made sense as something.
Absolutely.
Somebody who could be in that spooky castle at the end of time. I saw that as a theory. I saw Kang as a theory. I did not see, it's both of them. We have He Who Remains, and then Kang is his variant. Because this is not exactly Kang.
Exactly.
But this is the source of Kang. This is Kang Origins.
Or one of them. We don't know if this is the original. But yeah, they're like that. Like I saw people putting out videos of like, here are the top 5 most likely bad guys for Loki, and then the writers were like, what if it's all of them? What if they're just variants of each other? Like, it's Kang, it's Immortus, it's He Who Remains. They're all the same person, but just different variants from different timelines, different universes.
It's like the little girl in the taco commercial. Why not both?
Yeah, it's brilliant. So yeah, they never specifically said the name Kang. But it is absolutely what he implied to the fact that he was like, I'm also a conqueror to most. So this really blew the lid on the multiverse, because the way this one ended up is, Sylvie ended up killing He Who Remains once they got past what they said was the threshold, which I was a little less explained than I would have liked.
That's all the time that he has written, because when they show up at his desk in his beautiful time office, he hands them sheets of papers. Yeah, it's like just like at the beginning of the show when they check sense. Loki into like TVA imprisonment, like here's the paper of everything you've ever said. He hands them the paper of everything they're going to say. But they hit a point where like the music gets ominous, and he's like, guys, this is all I know. Now I'm in the dark as much as you are. I didn't write this part. Don't know what happens. I don't know if I live or die.
That makes a little bit more sense. I was like, if he knows everything, how does it just stop at one point? But yes, it is. He has to actually like physically write. And then Loki spoke and said blah blah blah. The dead speak, right? But so they like, after they get past that threshold, Sylvie ends up kind of basically, I don't want to say breaking up, but it's just like, fuck it, I was here for revenge. This is what I'm gonna do no matter what. And that is what she does. She ends up killing him, and that's kind of what then the splintering had already begun when he got past the threshold, but this was like, it's now full on. The timeline looks like a nervous system, all these like synapses and branches that go off of. Yeah, it was wild. So here we are in the multiverse of madness.
Happy birthday, multiverse. Welcome to the world.
Right?
I liked the end with Sylvie a lot. I think that earned how talky this finale is, which I did really like. Jonathan Majors was just a delight to watch. But yeah, it is a long conversation. That's most of the episode with one action scene at the end. And I think they spend so much time on it that it really does give a nice dilemma between Loki and Sylvie, where he's talked so much that Loki's like, I buy what he's saying. I trust him. I think this guy's the real deal. I think we can take this
crazy person, but he's not lying. He's
I trust
the truth.
The bargain he's offering us, where he's like, I'm done with this. The TVA can be yours. You can rule it. I think you're decent hands to put it in. Now that I've explained to you why it exists, what it's here for, to stop there from being, because he's like, I met me from other dimensions. Some of them are terrible. That was what caused this whole time war. There was other me's. I don't want that to happen again. I need to retire. I need somebody else to take care of this. I think you two could do it. And Loki thinks this is a decent deal, and Sylvie's still not having it, regardless of whether she could control the TVA, regardless of what this man says about whether it maybe did have benevolent, reasons that she came from it, to like somehow her playing with her little Valkyrie dolls in her timeline was going to lead to like a super evil Kang conquering everything. She's not having it. And I like that conflict that Loki's like, look, I get it. Like he's being so, as much, this is a fight scene. This is the action of the episode, but he's trying to be as gentle as he could be with her. Like, I get it. I know what you want. I know that this is weird, but like, let's take a minute. Let's think about it. Let's talk about it. Maybe you do kill him. Can you not kill him right now? Can we converse on this?
He wasn't opposed to killing him. He was just like, let's just talk it out a bit and think first.
I think I can see this guy's plan. Let's hash it out.
It's not so much that I feel like Loki thought it was a decent deal. It was more so that like, hey, maybe the devil we know rather than the one we don't know. Like this guy's not actually all that bad. He's a jerk and he sucks, but like maybe he's just a cranky old man at the end of time, and we can just leave him out there. And yeah, they do have some conflict, but they have a beautiful moment where it is another one of those like almost saying I love you, but they don't really. And he's like, they do have a kiss, but it is still kind of a ruse for Sylvie to get this like bracelet time device thing, which is how she sends him into wherever he went. We'll get back to that in a sec there. But it was a beautiful moment.
It was. It's a very sweet kiss. I know her. I think her heart is in it. She's like, I do appreciate that you want more than anything else for me to be okay with whatever happens. And I recognize that you think us signing up for this deal, or at least continuing to sit here and talk it out with this guy, is a better result for me than killing him. But I came here with a mission. I can't think past that mission. I'm going to do it. I need to distract you from this. I need you to be okay also. So she kisses him. It's really lovely, and then punts him through a time portal. It reminded me a lot of that bit in Age of Ultron where Natasha kisses Bruce and says, I absolutely adore you, and then pushes him off a cliff to get him mad. And she says, but I need the other guy.
Yeah, that's exactly what this is. And yeah, it was a great moment. I loved it there. I love the fact that this villain is going to be the next big bad in the MCU. We can absolutely tell by just how menacing season 1 of Loki ended up in, of just like, oh shit, like we're in it big time now. And the fact that there are multiples of him out there, they could be good, they could be bad. He could show up like a Nick Fury kind of character, where he's in and around the things. You might see him in some stuff, but he's not the main character. Or he's like a Stan Lee, where he has a cameo, or something like that. I'm excited to see all the different versions of Kang that are out there.
Yeah.
We put a lot of hard work into the shows that we make, and yes, we make multiple different shows here at the Whatnauts, and we'd love it if you would check them all out. You can find out more information on our website at thewhatnauts.com, as well as your favorite podcasting platform of choice. When you type in the Whatnauts, all of our shows will pop up right there. Just don't forget to give us a nice rating and review if you like the shows. If you want to support what we do here at The Whatnauts, patreon.com/The Whatnauts is the best place to do that. You can support us for as little as $1 a month. You can get all kinds of exclusive content at the $3 tier. You can also get a shout out and thank you on all of our shows at the $5 tier. You can support us on Twitch by subscribing to our channel at twitch.tv/The Whatnauts, and we would love to have you all join us for our live streams and talk with us in the chat. And lastly, we have merch. If you want to grab yourself a shirt or a sweatshirt or a mug or something else, go to thewhatnauts.com/store to pick up some merch today.
So many personalities. Like I said, this is the first time I've ever seen Jonathan Majors perform. Yep. I could see him perform in so many other ways. Yeah, what a rich career.
It's going to be good.
Yeah, there could be a world where he's a cartoon, just like Miss Minutes.
Yes.
Like
don't sleep on What If. What If is absolutely, because we now have all of this multiverse stuff. That's the multiverses that What If is taking place in. So yeah, we might see some Kang variants.
Yeah, I'd love to see a whole world of just Miss Minutes. Like, she's our mascot, but no, we didn't design her. We took her from somewhere. There's a whole clock world she comes from.
Interesting.
Everyone's a clock. This is Jonathan Majors the Clock.
Clockwork MCU. There we go. Next, I want to talk about B-15. Hunter B-15, because I think her storyline is the next really interesting one of like, where is this going? I don't know. So she got woken up by Sylvie, so to speak. She now has the information that she is a variant, and the TVA has been lying and all of this stuff. And she makes her move. I guess it sounds like she teamed up with Mobius. Mobius getting back from the void at the end of time was like, hey, that means Renslayer is also a variant. Go check in on her like actual thing or something. And yeah, the TVA is trying to chase down Hunter B-15, and they go to the school in 2018. I forget the name of the school, like Franklin.
It's like Franklin Delano Roosevelt High School, but it's in Fremont, Ohio, which is the second time this week that we've had MCU content set in Ohio. I wonder if that's a coincidence or not. I mean, you got like a 1 in 50 chance, right, if you're dealing with American states.
Yeah. But yeah, so they go to the school and they find Hunter B-15 in Renslayer's office, and they like have her cornered, and then that version of Renslayer walks in, and she's just like, who the hell are you guys? What are you doing in my school? And they're just like, oh, Judge Renslayer, it's good to see you. We didn't know you'd be here. And she's just like, what the fuck? Like, what is going on? So yeah, there's some interesting stuff happening with that.
Yeah, Renslayer's got a lot of mystery to her. She had that pen to begin with, and she wasn't taken from there because she's already there. I wonder if maybe she was introduced, like whoever instated her in her role, whoever her predecessor was, or took her around and introduced her to everything, was like, maybe she's known that secret, or maybe she knew she was a variant. She has this pin. She seems to like know. Maybe somebody gave it to her and they were teasing her. I'm curious why she has that connection to her variant life and other people don't.
There's still some mystery surrounding that because shout out to New Rock Stars for pointing this one out. Apparently, the degree that is hanging on her wall in the background has a different name. It's not Renslayer. So that could mean nothing. Really, that just happens to be her name in that one. But it is interesting to note that it's like, this isn't Renslayer exactly. Yeah. So this is some kind of variant, but there is still that connection to the school, which is interesting. So, some things with that. But we do also get to check in with the Renslayer that we've seen this entire show. Yeah. And she seems to be trying to download a bunch of files or go through some information and take this and do something with it. And that's when Miss Minutes pops up and is like, hey, we got those downloads for you. Here you go. And then she looks at the thing and she comments, these aren't the files that I wanted. To which Miss Minutes replies, he thinks you will want these ones instead. Which is just real ominous.
And she says, who? Like, it seems like she's not aware of he who remains. Otherwise, she would imagine that's the he you're referring to. So either she has no idea where these are coming from, or maybe there's multiple he's who Miss Minutes could have been referring to.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's interesting because it seems like she was a woman on a mission. She was going to go do something. And so when she leaves in this time portal after Mobius confronts her, it's hard to tell if that's what she was originally going to do anyways, or if now because of these new files that she's barely gotten to look at, she now is like, oh, I need to go to this location or at least some different location to figure this stuff out.
There's a lot
of loose threads with that one.
There's a lot we still have to know about her, not just in terms of exposition of her backstory, but also emotionally, how much I do like that she's defending this job, that's saying that even if it is messy, maybe we are taking variants from other universes and lying to them. This is for the ultimate good. Like, I like that she truly believes in the good of what the TVA does, even if how it does it is messy.
I'm wondering if she knows Hang the Conqueror. Like, she knows one of the bad ones. And because we know that Renslayer was this love interest for Kang. So what if it is a story similar to that, where they were in a relationship and then he just kind of went off the deep end and did that stuff, and so she knows the like, hey, this could be really bad if we don't keep up with what we do here. We don't know yet,
I would see a lot more of her in season 2 and more of her relationship with Mobius. I really like their dynamic.
Absolutely.
They've got such a strong platonic friendship. Like, they're just really strongly bonded coworkers after centuries, however long time works in the TVA. Like, they're just buddies. And he's like, I thought we were buddies.
Indeed. It's some good stuff. Speaking of Mobius, we don't get to see him on a jet ski, so disappointing in that regard. But
this is the the most cohesive of the 3 MCU shows so far. But because it is also the only one that has official plans for a second season. There is some stuff, like there's like a bookend you were waiting for that never appears. Like, we never see Casey again. It was hoping to see like just a smidge more of the people around the TVA offices.
Absolutely. But we should go back to Loki and talk a little bit more about him and what happened with him. Because after
Right.
he had that
The
kiss,
main guy.
he got pushed into this time portal back to the TVA. And at first, he doesn't really know what to do, but then he's like, I need to find whoever. I need to find Mobius, or I need to find Renslayer, whoever. And he ends up finding Mobius and Hunter B-15 and starts being like, we met him. He who remains, he's dead. The multiverse is happening. He's trying to like warn them, and they respond by just being like, who are you? You work here, right? You work
Yeah.
down the hall. Go do something else. And he's just like, what? No, I'm Loki. Like, you know me. And they have no idea who he is. Which is interesting that he, like, there is no like, yes, Loki, the like god of mischief. But then the camera like pans out as Loki looks into the TVA, and those big statues that once were the timekeepers is now a big statue of Kang.
Yeah.
Or he who remains, or it's just it's that actor.
Yes.
So yeah, and it like the music is swelling and it is really menacing and ominous, and it's just like, oh shit, here we go.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
what an exciting
great
cliffhanger.
ending.
I wasn't expecting a
Yeah.
cliffhanger at the end of this, even knowing that there may be a season 2.
Yeah, absolutely. Like, it's one of those things. I think it's kind of fine for the most part where it ends. If there wasn't a season 2, they could just kind of wave their hand and be like, yeah, Loki somehow gets back to where he was at the end of Endgame, or I guess at the end of Avengers 1, right when he poofs. He gets back there somehow, some way, but yeah, they've set up the multiverse. They've introduced Kang, and God, I'm so excited. And this is great. Just my mind is racing on all of the things. We could see him in this, and that means this, and we can do
Right?
that. And
I looked at the schedule again today. Quantumania isn't until February 2023. That one was farther out than I thought
Loki
it was.
season 2 before that comes out. So.
That would be nice. I hope for such a thing. And we could see did Kang or Jonathan Majors in some capacity, or a reference to him in Multiverse of Madness coming up in just a short 8 months, I believe. I counted today. So jazzed for that multiverse and all its madness. Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Who knows?
There's so many possibilities. And I like that. Like, we don't know which one it will be. We don't know which one will be the true Kang, right? Like, what if he starts out as benevolent and then something happens? Yeah, we just don't know. I if I'm not mistaken, I believe Kevin Feige has stated that Phase 4 will be longer than what we're used to. So that is interesting to note. But yeah, I don't know how, like, will we see Kang through Phase 7?
Oh my God.
I have no idea, because I mean, we had the whole like Infinity Saga, which was phases 1 through 3. We're in Phase 4 now, so does that go through Phase 6? I have no idea.
I don't know. And then like there was one big bad for the Infinity Saga. It's Thanos. Is it going to be a Kang? Are we going to have a whole set of Kang sagas, or is it going to be smaller sagas, and maybe it winds together with like and the Doom Saga?
Yeah, because Kang is also a connection to the Fantastic Four. So that is interesting to note. And yeah, it could somehow factor into that movie. Oh no. Possibilities
so far
are endless.
out there. Yeah, I'm curious what I would love to know. At least I want them to tell us when they announce whatever the end of Phase 4 is.
Yeah.
I wonder. Yeah, I'm curious. Could it be for? I think that's the latest thing out that we know for sure. And prior to that is Blade, the ever mysterious Blade. I was thinking
Yes.
recently that all we know about Blade is that Mahershala Ali came out on stage and he put on the
He
hat
has a
that
hat.
says Blade.
The
And I'm
hat
like,
is
what
real.
if that's diegetic and like Blade in the movie has a hat with his name on it?
Who are you? It's on the hat, guys. It says right here. No,
Right. Like whoever his mentor is, he's got a mentor guy in the Wesley Snipes movies. Like that guy gets in a hat with his
so
name
they know
on it.
who
Like
you are.
you look pretty down, Blade. I just want you to have something that reminds you that I believe in you. It's a hat with your name on it.
So I just had a wild theory.
Uh-huh.
We don't know what Secret Invasion is going to be about. What if it's an invasion of Kangs?
Well, I think we already got all that scroll stuff set up. I'm so excited for Kang, but I almost want them to take it like one thing at a time. Like, I want to really spend time with Skrulls and focus on Skrulls. I think that's rich.
That's the thing. We don't know if
Kang
Skrulls
later.
will be the bad guy in that, because as of right now in the MCU, Skrulls are good as far as we know.
I know, yes.
So that's what a lot of people have been speculating, is that what if Secret Invasion is not about the Skrulls invading Earth, but it's something else invading, and that is their way of like flip-flopping it, and it is the Skrulls who might be out in space with Nick Fury being the ones to be like, oh shit, we're getting invaded. So I don't know. Wild speculation there that what if somehow it's related to Kang.
It
doubt
certainly
that'll
could
be it, but there might be
an invasion
there might be something
of Kangs. I'd like that to just be. I'm excited for just the cosmic area. Like I know that Skrulls may not be invading. Perhaps it's only a very small fraction of naughty Skrulls who are doing the invading. Maybe it's some other space foe. I feel like that'd just be like a space story. Kang is space, but he's more time than space.
He is more time-based, so we shall see. You have final thoughts on the season finale for Loki?
I love the set design, the costume design. I love the aesthetics of this show so much. Like, it's so technically successful. I love the end credits music every week, but I feel like they established what I thought was going to be the standard end credits music, and they used it for like the first 2 episodes. And then in every episode after that, it was a little different. And I'm like, I love this. I miss original credits music. Yeah. Outstanding soundtrack. Definitely the best. I liked He Who Remains As Little, like, he's got like a big marble disc he wears on his wrist like a watch, it seems like. And he like flicks off like marble goo from it, and the goo like stands up and becomes like a little guy. That's a trend I really want to track in movies. This is part of a larger conversation. So we got that. We got like whatever, like the vibranium particles in Black Panther. We got the ship in Man of Steel. We're in an era of like little visualizations of things somebody is talking about. And I feel like we didn't always have this.
Technology, something. I don't know, but yeah. Interesting stuff. I loved it. This was my favorite Marvel series.
Yeah.
I think from WandaVision to this one, Marvel really honed in on how to make these shows. I know our feedback maybe hasn't really completely factored into how they made Loki or how they wrote it and stuff like that, but now they know how much we are theorizing and reacting and all of that stuff. So I think that will only help them to make these shows better down the road. I'm excited for She-Hulk. I'm excited for Moon Knight. I'm excited for Miss Marvel and Hawkeye and all sorts of stuff. So it's gonna be a blast. We have lots of good stuff coming down the road. But that, I believe, does it for our reactions to Loki. We won't be back next week on Wednesday or the Wednesday after that, since there is no more Loki. However, whenever they decide to do What If, I don't know what days that will be. We will be reacting to those ones, I'm sure. If it is Wednesdays, then we will be back on Wednesdays once that starts. And in the meantime, you might see a reaction to a movie. You might see our trailer reaction roundup number 2 hit the podcast feed. So there might be some stuff sprinkled in there with that. But this has been the Reactor Core for the Loki finale. There you go. Melissa, where can they find you on the internet?
You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Wilkywit. That's WILKYWIT. And listen to my other podcast, Saturday Morning Obscurities.
Go. You guys can stay up to date with me at Kyle Springer on Twitter. And if you want to stay up to date with all of the stuff that we do here at the Whatnauts, you guys can follow us on Twitter at the Whatnauts. So go like, share, subscribe. You guys know the deal with that. And we will see you all next time. Bye.
Bye.